fixing to get steamy in here.
That's just the way I like it.
I like it cold and unaffectionate. I'm Boom.
I'm Charles.
And this is Fab to Flab still, because nobody has wanted the title to change.
It was a good title.
So we'll stick with it. We're going to be making social media accounts, and we're probably going to be making a YouTube channel just for this. So if this is all you want to see from the channel, it'll be booted straight over there. So what is this now?
3.
Third episode, but
Third episode.
Week 6?
Yes.
How did it go for you over the last 2 weeks?
Hard to say. I'm still not entirely certain I really lost a lot of weight. But I've been having a lot of tooth problems. I think I've been grinding my teeth at night, and the last several days it's gotten to where I can't even really eat that well. I've been doing like a lot of soups and soft things. I haven't been eating that much, which would be great, except for a lot of the soft things like soup and then mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. They aren't that great for you. So I still don't know if I've managed to lose any this time.
What do you feel?
I feel all right.
Mentally, what's going on with you in the diet?
I just need to do a better job of sticking with it.
The first week of the episode 2 to 3 season, whatever you'd call it, went really well for me. And then towards the end, it was terrible. I started eating more calories than I was supposed to. I had another day like I did the last time where I ate like 6,000 calories. And then after that, on my good days, I'd have 3 good days in a row, and then I'd eat right up to or just slightly over my Fitness Pal's recommendation for calories, which is 1,000 more than what I want to eat every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I lost anything at all, maybe it's like a pound or 2, but the last few days I've just been eating like whatever I want. I started feeling a different tension this time around too. Mentally, I started getting more argumentative with myself. I'm like, well, why can't I have this? This is what I want. I should just get it. And this doesn't make any sense. And I started having that kind of mental conflict. So I guess, I don't know, something's going on inside. My belly, I thought it looked smaller the other day. I went to the mall and I walked past the reflection and I looked thinner to me. And it didn't make any sense because I was eating all these fatty foods like barbecue and stuff. And then I went to work yesterday to do something real quick, and someone said the same thing, like, well, your belly's looking smaller. I said, yeah, I thought the same thing. I just saw myself in the reflection and it looked smaller. Maybe the last 3 or 4 days, maybe that's not an instantaneous fat. Maybe it takes like a week to add that fat. I don't know, but yeah, it happened.
I've been told I look a little smaller, but I really can't tell. And a lot of that's from back when I first started going to see the nutrition stuff before we started this series. Of course, obviously the scales that we've seen since the start of the series shows I'm not really losing anything, so you definitely wouldn't be able to tell from the start of this to now, probably. So
today we're going to talk about why we think we're fat. And some people may be easier. Some people may have just one reason. Some people may have multiple reasons that added up to a culmination of either mental distress or just blowing your body out. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Well, I hate to be the one that points fingers at parents, but I think it started with me, with my mother. She had an eating disorder when she was with my dad. They had split when I was like 4, but she used to say that she was on diets with him and take diet pills and things like that. And then when he would leave to work, she would take me into the closet and she would just eat all the chips and eat like a whole jar of peanut butter and whatever. And I'd be with her, so she'd be feeding me all the things that she ate. And I grew up thinking this was normal, to just go to the closet or go hide somewhere and eat your food. And to this day, when I gorge out, not just a normal meal, but when I purposely buy $40-50 worth of food and I'm going to eat it right then at one time and gorge out, I don't like to be around people. I like to go to my room, shut the door, turn off the lights. It's like a secretive thing, which I guess she knew it was wrong, which is why she did it, and I know it's wrong, which is why I do the whole seclusion thing as well. I was raised more around her family than my dad's family, and her family used food for everything. If to celebrate, to love on you, whatever it was, there was always food in the house. Everybody was obese. Everybody was encouraged to eat a lot. There was a lot of praise if you ate more food than anybody else. Like, oh man, you're the real man. You're a growing boy. You're gonna be so big one day. So there was some reinforcement for it there. Growing up poor, well, not poor but broke. That was our phrase. I had clothes. There wasn't many times where I went without food, but we didn't have money to just be splurging on all kinds of stuff. So one of the things that got reinforced was buffets. It was cheaper for my mother to take me to a place and pay $7 for all you can eat and have me eat like 7 plates of food and be done for the whole day than it would be to pay $5 or $6 a few times a day to feed her and myself. So those are my 3 big reasons. Those are more of how I got fat though. That's not the psychology of what's going on now. So I'll save that for possibly another episode or at the end of this one, depending on how we feel. What are your reasonings?
Well, probably the biggest reason was essentially spoiled in the last episode is, also raised not having a whole lot of money, so waste was just a very abhorrent thing for us to do. I heard the line of starving kids in Japan, eventually that did become like starving kids in Africa, that kind of thing. But we were always made to clear our plates no matter what. I was always the kind, I got my first and I go back for seconds, and then partway through my seconds, I would just, no, wrong, be really hungry, but you have to finish, we can't throw it away. And that just became a subconscious thing. I don't even think about it. Now, if I want to quit when I'm full, I have to be actively thinking about it. To me, just clearing the plates is second nature as breathing.
Is that the only reason why you think you got big?
Also I'm lazy. I never really worked out, was never very sports minded. I preferred to, watch movies, read books, that kind of thing. So.
Well, then we definitely have time to go into the mental stuff then. Now it's truly 100% a drug for me. And I run to it when I'm in stress, when I want to celebrate. More so when I'm under stress though. A lot of people, if you've never overeaten, and you've never overeaten often especially, you don't know what's physically different about it. A lot of people don't. I've met a lot of thin people where they say like, I don't understand why you would want to feel that way. Because when you've eaten so much that it hurts to move, when you're on the verge of puking and you just want to close your eyes and you're physically sweating, you're hot because you've had so much food in your body, you drop a buttload of endorphins, and it's like taking painkillers, and you'll get this high out of eating this massive amount of food. And depending on what kind of food you eat, you're also going to get a different high. If it was tons of sugar, if it was just tons of heavy meat, whatever it is. So I've done a lot of different drugs. I've only been addicted to 3 things ever. And that is tobacco, which I think I've kicked for the most part. I may bum a cigarette from somebody once every few months or something like that. Alcohol, which I'm no longer addicted to at all. I don't feel like I have to drink at all. And I'm actually fixing to quit drinking for good again. Tomorrow is a special occasion where I'm going to drink, and then after that, I think I'm done. And then food, which you can't escape, because if you, see, this is, I knew it was going to get to this point at some point. Yeah, it is real wet-eyed. He can't. I get it from him, and I wasn't even raised around him. But now we both cry easily at different things. So when we go to movies or whatever, this is what we do. And we like even on phone calls, if one of us starts crying, the other one will start crying. It's really weird. Sometimes we just have a phone call conversation where for like 5 minutes we're just quiet because we're both criers. It's harder to get away from food than alcohol and tobacco, at least I think, because you have to have it. There's no way around it. Whether you're being totally unhealthy or fully healthy, whatever, you can't survive without food. And everybody's gonna have it. So if you wanna stop drinking, you can just stop going to bars a lot of times, or stop hanging out with people that drink, and you're not as tempted. But every day you drive past restaurants, it's a totally legal drug. You can't escape it. You're always going to be reminded of the drug of choice, or your drug of choice, the thing that you're most driven to go to. And you're always thinking about it. What do I want for the next meal or the next splurge, or when should I do this? And then that's when I break into I'm going to go to my cave and take this food. And so yeah, that's now my biggest reason for why I'm fat, besides probably being lazy too. I hate moving around. Is just that addiction, that drive to feel drugged out and comfortable and relaxed. You had said that you're just encouraged to clean plates.
Oh yes, no, I still do that.
Psychologically, physically, are you getting a high off of eating that food?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it's just something I do. So. I'm a bit obsessive compulsive. I'm one of those types where the rules and the way you're supposed to do things are more important than they should be. So that probably feeds into that. It's just what I do.
You're doing the bento boxes.
Yes, I was doing that for portion control, and that's been working out. It allows me to keep a good portion while completely cleaning my dish.
We had a quick break and had to move some stuff around, so our vocals may be different now.
Possibly.
So by going to the bento plates, just having smaller plates and cooking in smaller portions, do you think that's all it takes for you to get thin?
No, it's not just the portions. It's also what you're eating, and still need to really start exercising. I've not really done that yet.
Do you have any foods that bring you comfort? I guess I could have said comfort foods. Is there anything where when you're having a bad day, you're gonna turn to and be like, I really need some of this?
Just like junk food and candy.
I've never been a big sweets guy. There are times where I'll hog out on certain sweets, but they're really rare. I actually prefer salty and fatty and savory over sweet.
Well, some junk foods. I like to do chips and salsa and that kind of stuff too.
There's actually a new type of chips. They're on the border chips, but they're nacho cheese covered, and they're basically Doritos. They're way better because they're thinner. They're almost they're like crispy rice paper almost, and their cheese is actually spicy. So you get a little bit of like a peppery thing going on in your tongue. Those I'll eat, but that's salty, savory. There for a long time, majority of my diet was actually meat and cheese. I grew up loving cheese, and I used to actually eat probably a pound to a pound and a half a day. I'd go buy those 8-ounce blocks of cheese, just different types, pepper jack and whatnot, and even just driving around town, I would open one and eat it like a candy bar and just be chewing on cheese. I used to work with a guy that it would always shock him to see me eat as much cheese as I did.
Yeah, I used to eat the blocks of cheese, especially if you get like some good crackers and some summer sausage to go with it.
I'm so lazy. That's too much work to have to open 2 other containers or something. I'd rather just Yeah, he used to ask if he heard that I was cooking something. He said, "Oh, so what are you eating today? Block of cheese? Is that what's for dinner?" All right. So, anything else you want to add psychologically? We actually may have a part 2 to this where we're gonna have a professional and maybe do like a Q&A. I think that'd actually be a really good episode to do where we not only go longer, but have like a live feed where we can have people call in or Skype to us or whatever and get questions answered. We'll see how it goes. See what everybody's schedule permits, but I think the psychological factor of being obese is so much larger than anything else. There's definitely room to have more of this, more of what's going on in our heads. So, anything else you want to add before we do the weigh-in?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, let's get this thing weighted out. Weighed out. Yeah.
You should mop your floor.
It's more real this way.
All right, let's do this. Oh, dang it.
The battery died. You have to do it again.
It died.
Yeah, your result was LO.
Maybe you need a new battery.
This one still has a little bit of life in it. It's having a hard time reading you. Move your feet inward. Yeah, there you go. Stand up straight. $362.8.
Really?
Think you've lost 5 pounds?
Yeah, because that's 367, so great, I've lost. Woohoo!
There you go. Getting started on it. I don't know, I haven't weighed myself with pants on. I've weighed myself a couple of times this week with no pants.
I prefer you keep your pants on.
We'll let the viewers decide.
Your weight is low.
I was born with low birth weight. And I'll die with low birth weight. 331.9, not great. I think.
You were 332 last time, weren't you?
Yeah, well, 330 something. It was low 30s. 335 or 334, something like that. So I've lost a little bit, but the last few days have definitely done their damage. I've eaten Whataburger and Bone Daddy's, which is the only place I can say has the best barbecue now.
So you gave them another try and they were good, huh?
Yeah, I even emailed them about it. Their burnt ends were amazing.
That's good.
It was like toasted marshmallows over an open fire. It was crispy and it was sweet, and it actually had that burnt marshmallow flavor on the outside, and then you crunch through it and then there's just soft brisket on the inside. I'm definitely gonna go for them again.
I may have to give them a try.
All right, well, we are done.
Yeah.
Where was this thing? Was it on the table or was it on the floor?
That was on the floor. You're still recording, aren't you?